104.5, the team, your home for New York sports, and now a guy who did a little coaching at UAlbany, was part of 2 Super Bowl teams for the Giants. The quarterback coach now, right, Coach?
Yeah, I'm the quarterback coach.
Quarterback coach for the Houston Texans. Sean Ryan joins us. So before, obviously, I want to talk to you about Victor Cruz, but there were some debates here because the Jets went with a wide receiver coach for their offensive coordinator in John Morton. Now, you have done both wide receiver and quarterback coach. Which one of those positions do you think lends better to an offensive coordinator job?
I think they both probably have some aspects that are going to help you in the job. The quarterback coach you got to be a little bit more tied into your run game, the rules of the run game, what's good run versus different fronts and defenses, and in terms of your overall picture of the entire defense as a quarterback coach, you have to be locked into everything. So it's probably a little bit of an easier transition from the quarterback spot to the coordinator job. But certainly the info that you need in the pass game and understanding that, and even your run rules on the perimeter as a receiver coach, I mean, it carries over too. But probably overall, the quarterback job probably prepares you a little bit better for it.
Is it going to be a tough transition for you from moving to wide receiver coach to quarterback coach? How are you as a coach going to change the ways you coach with your players?
Yeah, I think it becomes a little bit more. There's more meeting time, in terms of with the quarterbacks, because every time the special teams are meeting, you're in a meeting because your guys are not involved with the special teams. So it's a little bit more cerebral. There's a little bit more, kind of preparation for meetings to be planned out to have to go into it. And like I said, you've got to be able now to really talk in depth about your run game, your mic points in the run game, the different things you're doing there, your rules for getting us in and out of plays, whether they're good plays, run to pass, run to run, that type of thing. So I think the preparation for the meetings and the weekly deal is a little bit more involved. So that part of it will change for me a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I did it in New York for 2 years. And so, that was obviously, good preparation for this. So it's not completely foreign to me. I've done it at different levels. I did it in college. So, I've got a little bit of comfort level with it, which is a good thing going into this thing. But, it's definitely different, presents you with some different challenges and kind of a different routine through the day in terms of your meetings and all that, your prep work. But, pretty much I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge.
Sean Ryan with us, quarterback coach of the Houston Texans, was the wide receiver coach for Victor Cruz, and I want to get to that, but real quick, the guy on your roster right now who seems to be taking the most heat is the guy you're going to be working with, and that's Brock Osweiler. From the outside looking in, I just feel like he everything's moving a little too fast for him. Do you think that's the case, and do you think it's going to be a pretty easy fix now that you're one-on-one with him?
I think anytime you come into a new system, and whether it's a player, a coach, anybody, and especially at the quarterback position, there's so much that goes into it. There really is. And like I talked about, how you have to really, kind of master every part of the offense. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot to handle. And I think, you see that. It's a big reason why they talk about how, it's hard for rookies to play in the National Football League. It's the same kind of idea. You're coming in. There's a lot of things to learn. So I think, that certainly plays into it, and I think always, you're always better. I don't care who you are. You're always better in a second year, third year of an offense than you are in the first, and that's something I think needs to be remembered. Certainly, there's improvements to make here. There's no question about it on our side of the ball, but we feel like we're going to move forward and make whatever improvements are necessary to kind of get us moving in the direction we want to go.
Sean Ryan with us now. Sean, Victor Cruz, you get a lot of credit for that wide receiver class when he came out and made his dramatic improvement from undrafted to star in the league. What were your thoughts when you heard yesterday that he was released by the Giants?
I was a little sad, to be honest with you. I get it. It's part of the business, and I know he gets it too. It's just how things work out, in the league and things like that. But it's just one of those guys that's going to be odd to see him in a different jersey other than that blue number 80. And it was just such an unbelievable run. And the things that he accomplished coming from where he did, and the whole story to it. It was kind of perfect. So I was a little sad to see his time there end, but I know he's still anxious to play and get out there. He's got some gas in the tank. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next.
What are some things that fans may not know about Victor Cruz, especially when it comes in prepping for a game or maybe in practice, that you've been able to watch throughout his career as a coach?
Yeah, I just thought, first and foremost, once he knew like kind of the idea of what we were trying to do, and we really reeled him into just focusing on the slot position. And once that kind of started clicking for him, his bursts and his in and out of breaks, I mean, his explosion really was special. I mean, I saw yesterday they were showing a lot of those clips from the NFC Championship game in San Francisco in 2011. And I mean, in the first half, they couldn't cover. I mean, there was nobody on the field that could cover the guy. And it was just, him understanding the routes, understanding the techniques of the DBs, where he grew in that area. And that was really his first year of playing, you know what I mean, that 2011 season. So just watching him from game one to that, NFC Championship game, how he had grown as a route runner, in particular in the slot, was, I thought, really impressive. And, he's always kind of had that quickness and explosion to his game, which I've always enjoyed watching.
Sean Ryan with us from Hudson Falls, first coaching job at Albany, 2 rings with the Giants, wide receiver coach for Victor Cruz, quarterback coach now with the Houston Texans. It doesn't get easier to give your accolades out, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
What's the chances we see the old Victor Cruz down in Houston thing, huh?
Well, I tell you, I don't know. That's above my pay grade, but I will tell you this, that I never say never in the National Football League, right?
Right.
That's the one thing I've learned. So, again, that's decisions that are out of my hands, but you never know.
Sean, the only other question we have for you is, we spent a week down in Houston. How in the world do you live down there and not get fat? The food is amazing.
Well, you got to really be careful with that, I'm telling you. And that was it's funny you say it, because it was one of the first warnings they gave me as I came in here. Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, every restaurant you go to, any place you go, I mean, you can really get after it. So you better watch yourself and get on the treadmill. So I've tried to do my best to do both of those things.
Sean Ryan, man, we appreciate you, and best of luck this year. Even though you guys did bounce my favorite team, the Raiders, in the playoffs, it's a fun team to watch, and good luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.